Okay, my friends, so this is our special session. It's going to be a little bit longer than the practices that we're doing Monday through Friday. So that's what we're doing. We're practicing Monday through Friday, every day in the morning. If you can't practice at 10 o'clock with us on Zoom, no problem. Just commit that you're going to practice someday during the day. And I would prefer if you could stay with us and practice the lesson that we're on, so that we're moving together through the lessons together. And today is day 2. And so today is going to be lesson 2. And I would also ask is that if you're already practicing the lesson for the day, so usually the way we practice in our group is whatever day of the year it is, that's the lesson that we're practicing. So today is the 291st day of the year. So many of us are practicing the lesson 291. So I would ask is that if you're already practicing the lessons, to please add this practice on top of, because the goal of this practice that we're doing together, this Miracles Immersion, is that we're navigating the season with love. And right now we're in the political season. And for us to practice the first lessons of the workbook is very powerful as we move through it together. And for you to be willing to tack on or to augment or to beef up your practice is really what's going to be helpful as we navigate this season. Like, our intention is to do it with love. And so we're going to be beefing up our practice. So if you already are doing the lessons, go on ahead and just add this other practice as we move through this season, this specific political season. Let me see if there's anything else I wanted to say. I would also like to talk a little bit about how the practices go. So they're concise when we meet on Zoom. That's why I'm asking everyone to be prompt. They're concise, no more than 15 minutes, max 20. I doubt we'll have many that are going to go 20. I'll lead us in a short breath awareness practice. We will read the lesson. I'll read it to you. And then we'll do the practice as instructed by the lesson. We'll take a few moments for meditation. I have specific affirmations that we're working with, and I'll give those to you, that are setting and empowering the intention of our practice. And then closer to the end, I will start to say something like, you can stay in this meditative state for as long as you choose, for as long as feels right. And when you are ready, I invite you to flutter your eyes and take a few deep breaths and come back to the present moment. And at that point, I will say the practice is over, and I'll end the meeting so that you all can stay in your contemplative, meditative state without having to do goodbyes. So I just kind of wanted to lay out how that is going to work. So that all being said, since we're not really doing a lot of chatting or sharing, you guys can come on early and chat and share if you want, as many of you have already done. And then also remember, we've got our Tuesday group and our Wednesday group where we can share miracles. We can talk about our happy surprises if there's any resistance that comes up, because this type of practice will bring up resistance. That's the nature of engaging with divine love. That divine love is going to act as the peroxide to bring up anything that's unlike love. So there probably will be some things coming up, and that's why we've got those other groups, so that we can have more intimate conversation. And if we need more time on Fridays, we can do that also. Okay, I know that was a lot. Any questions before we get started on our practice about like how the whole thing's going to go? I'm looking at all my squares. Okay.
Well,
Yes.
Jen, some people talk about, you know, not wanting to commit for the whole, like the whole session, the whole string of sessions, whatever. Not, and so what I'm getting from what you're saying is that that we're pretty much supposed to commit to doing this every day.
Let's say commit to the best of your ability, right? Because I believe as we read the introduction to the workbook, it talks a lot about don't get stressed out. Don't get stressed out.
Yeah.
It's okay. Commit to the best of your ability. I've been guided to commit to you all and to whoever wants to practice in this immersive experience. If you have ever had the desire to run away to an ashram or to go on retreat or to go to a monastery or to just be in another dimension for a specific length of time, this commitment to these 15 minutes a day can feed that need because we are creating sacred space. So I'm committed to you all. And if you would like to borrow my commitment and determination that has been given to me by Holy Spirit and Jesus, you can ride my coattails. But everyone's practicing to the best of their ability and as they are guided.
So it's okay if, you know, I'm talking to people and they say, you know, that's just, I can't commit. I can just say what you told us to the best of my ability to remember.
Yes, yes,
Okay.
because that's the way, yeah, Jesus is always in the Course in Miracles. He's like, it's a gentle path. And as we all know, the ego will try to use anything it can against us. Oh, you haven't committed. You can't do it. You know, anything it will use. So just practice to the best of your ability. And you can always practice with me in spirit, always. So you might not get on Zoom at 10 o'clock, but you can practice with me. You might not remember or decide to practice till, I don't know, the evening. You can still practice with me. You can be like, oh yeah, Jennifer, she's holding space for us. Let me just touch in with her consciousness, and you can practice with me.
Sounds good.
Yeah, it's all there for everybody. Okay.
What does it say, Jen, when the Course says that the ego will go from suspicious to, how does it go?
Vicious, from suspicious to vicious.
Yes, when you're trying to get to the next level. So hold on, everybody.
Right. I mean,
this
this is an immersion. It's like wanting to learn a new language. You have to kind of go over the hurdles. And Joanne and I know from experience, because she and I did a 12-week, which is 3 months. We did a 12-week study. We committed to it. We committed to each other. And whenever I wanted to quit, she kept us moving along. Whenever she wanted to quit, I kept her moving along. So the group dynamic carries you along. It's not just me. It's not just you. It's the group that carries us. So it's really not that scary. Once you start, you just kind of flow with it.
Yep.
Okay. So we're going to read the introduction, and then we'll go into our meditation if there's no more questions or comments. Okay, my friends. Great questions. All right, we are in the workbook. We're going to read the introduction. And that is page 1 of the workbook. Okay. All right. Is everybody there?
About where in the book is this located?
So the workbook is at the middle of the book,
Okay.
and it's the middle of the big book, and it's after the table of contents in the workbook.
Okay.
You'll go to 669 and then just keep going back. You'll run right into it.
Okay, thank you.
You're
Oh,
welcome.
right, right. For the sake of, you know, it's so interesting because I do a lot of speaking, a lot of teaching, and a lot of leading of classes. I'm very sensitive to the use of my voice. It's just one of those things as a singer or as a lecturer or as a teacher. That's just one of the issues that I'm always sensitive about. So would anyone be willing to read the first 2 paragraphs? Introduction, a theoretical foundation.
I can.
Thank you, Joanne. Thank you.
Introduction. A theoretical foundation, such as the text provides, is necessary as a framework to make the exercises in this workbook meaningful. Yet it is doing the exercises that will make the goal of the course possible. An untrained mind can accomplish nothing. It is the purpose of this workbook to train your mind to think along the lines the text sets forth. The exercises are very simple. They do not require a great deal of time, and it does not matter where you do them. They need no preparation. The training period is 1 year. The exercises are numbered from 1 to 365. Do not undertake to do more than 1 set of exercises a day.
Okay. An untrained mind can accomplish nothing. We are the deciders, and we get to decide how we would like to train our minds, if we want to be trained by the ego or trained by divine love, the Holy Spirit. And these lessons are helping to train our mind to think with Holy Spirit. Would anyone like to read 3 and 4?
I'll read. No, somebody else. Go ahead. You want me to read?
Yeah, Michelle, go on ahead. And then Leah, you can do the next one.
Okay. The workbook is divided into 2 main sections. The first dealing with the undoing of the way you see now, and the second with the acquisition of true perception. With the exception of the review periods, each day's exercises are planned around one central idea, which is stated first. This is followed by a description of specific procedures by which the idea for the day is to be applied. The purpose of the workbook is to train your mind in a systematic way to a different perception of everyone and everything in the world. The exercises are planned to help you generalize the lessons so that you will understand in each of them is equally applicable to everyone and everything you see.
Okay. Different perception of everyone and everything. And I always like to think different perception with the eyes of love. Like, we're willing to have a different perspective on everyone and everything that we see. And I will say, it says the workbook is divided into 2 main sections. So the first 40 lessons are the first section is the undoing, which can bring up some resistance, uncomfortableness, anger. It can bring up emotions that are uncomfortable and undesirable. but we always invite the Holy Spirit to be with us. We always invite divine love to practice with us. Okay, Leah, 5 and 6, please.
Okay. Transfer of training in true perception does not proceed as does transfer of the training of the world. If true perception has been achieved in connection with any person, situation, or event, total transfer to everyone and everything is certain. On the other hand, one exception held apart from true perception makes its accomplishments anywhere impossible. The only general rules to be observed throughout then are, first, that the exercises be practiced and with great specificity as indicated. This will help you to generalize the ideas involved to every situation in which you find yourself, into everyone and everything in it. Second, be sure that you do not decide for yourself that there are some people, situations, or things to which the ideas are inapplicable. This will interfere with transfer of training. The very nature of true perception is that it has no limits. It is the opposite of the way you see now.
During the practice, there will be persons, places, situations, and things that you decide, I can't see this differently. There's no way through my human eyes that I can see this person differently. And when we bump up against those, our only requirement is to be a little willing. That's it. Just a little willing. So I want to remind everyone of that as we work through these days together. Okay, so we've got 7, 8, and 9. It'll bring us to the end of this section. Can anyone read those last 3, please?
I can. Mary.
Thank you, Mary.
Let's see. I'm on speaker? Okay.
You are. I can hear you really good.
Okay. 7, the overall aim of the exercises is to increase your ability to extend the ideas you will be practicing to include everything. This will require no effort on your part. The exercises themselves meet the conditions necessary for this kind of transfer. 8, some of the ideas the workbook presents you will find hard to believe, and others may seem to be quite startling. This does not matter. You are merely asked to apply the ideas as you are directed to do. You are not asked to judge them at all. You are asked only to use them. It is their use that will give them meaning to you and will show you that they are true. 9, should I read 9?
Please, Mary.
9. Remember only this, you will not believe the ideas. You need not accept them, and you need not even welcome them. Some of them you may actively resist. None of this will matter or decrease their efficacy. But do not allow yourself to make exceptions in applying the ideas the workbook contains. And whatever your reactions to the ideas may be, use them. Nothing more than that is required.
Okay, so that's great. You will require no effort on your part. None of your resistance even matters. Doesn't even matter. The only thing you are asked to do is to use your reactions and to not waste them. So this course was specifically designed for our times. You know, it was written, I think it was the 70s. Actually, I don't even know the dates, but it was specifically designed for our times. This is like our map. And it takes us very gently, day by day, lesson by lesson, to perceive everything, everyone, including ourselves, through the eyes of love. So I'm like really excited about it. Before we move into lesson 2, because today is lesson 2, practicing, did anyone want to say anything or have any questions or comments?
Jen, I think when you start doing this, because I've been doing the course for many years too, it's once you let go of the resistance to doing it, your whole world changes.
Yes.
You know, I mean, I would not be where I am today if it wasn't for the course.
Yes.
I'm so much more peaceful. Things just seem to slide off my back when they come at me. I don't have to figure out why. It's just, it's brought to me in a way that I always know reason the why. I already know why. It's just, you get after a while, it just becomes part of your everyday life. And I just love it.
Thank you. Thank you. Me too. That's why, so we're going to do our practice today. And then I'm also going to read a bit from lesson 291, which talks about just what you were talking about, Michelle. Yeah. Anyone else before we get started on our practice?
Yeah, Jen, yesterday was the first time that the lesson had a little more meaning for me.
Okay.
Previously, I'd go, oh, I don't get this, and it, just go on and go on. But it just really meant more to me, which I was happy for. And also your meditation, I was able to concentrate instead of my mind going all over the place. Yeah, so even yesterday was better for me than
Nice.
than those things usually are.
Thanks, Marilyn. I personally find when we practice together these lessons, it's totally different experience for me than when I'm by myself at the beginning of the year on January 2, practicing lesson number 2. So thanks.
Thank you.